Hey, what's up guys? Sub here, the NBA every day. So first of all, I want to apologize for not making an NBA video for a while. I also want to let you guys know that this video is going to have the same entire picture the entire time. So, I would just, open up a new tab, open up a new window, and just listen because I really want to hear your feedback after the video. And finally, I've gained a pretty decent amount of subscribers from people who watch my piano videos. This is not a piano video, guys, so if you guys don't like the NBA, just click X. A lot of my subscribers subscribe for my NBA videos, so I have to give them what they subscribed for. So anyways, without further ado, who is the best point guard in the NBA right now? So we're going to be talking about the NBA players who are in the NBA right now. Who's the best point guard right now? I'm not going to be talking about, the past, and I'm not going to be talking about the future. All right? This is the present. So who are we going to be talking about? Which point guards? First of all, we're going to do 5 point guards in this video, the 5 most, reasonable logistical point guards in the NBA for consideration. Let's go. Derrick Rose, Rondo, Chris Paul, Deron Williams, and Russell Westbrook. So we're going to be breaking up this discussion in 6 categories. We're going to be talking about assists, points, steals, passing ability and court vision, athleticism, and finally, the final breaker, who do you need on your team? Alright, the first topic in this discussion is going to be assists. Who gets the most assists? Who can pass well? Who can do it all? So basically all these 5 players I mentioned can do every single thing I mentioned. They can pass, they can do everything. They're amazing passers and they can pass when need be and they can score when need be. They can steal when need be. They can do it all because these are basically essentially the 5 best point guards in the NBA right now. But if I had to pick one, I would give the point to Rondo because he did outstanding this season. He, passed with one hand. He got over 20 assists in a game. He single-handedly, represented the assist mark in the NBA this year. Previous years was Steve Nash. Future years could be John Wall, but we're talking about the present right now. Now, I'm not going to say that the other guys didn't do this because Chris Paul teared it apart this year in passing, but Rondo, he did spectacular and outstanding this season in passing. Now he gets a lot of criticism saying that if he was on a different team, he would not do as good. If he, wasn't playing with Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett, he wouldn't be getting the assists that he gets. But that's irrelevant because this is the present. This is what happened. Okay, a lot of people could be saying, look at Andrew Bynum. He wouldn't be doing nothing if he didn't have Kobe on his team. It's irrelevant. Alright, so basically Rondo has 1 point in this category out of 6. So now we're going to be talking about the points. Who can score in the NBA out of these 5 players? Who is really consistent? Who can score when they have to score? Who can do it all? So in scoring, in my opinion, almost every single one of these guys proved in the past. Rondo, I'm just gonna take him out of this conversation right now because he is not a scorer. His mentality is to pass and to set up his teammates. So Rondo is automatically out of this category for scoring. Now, Deron Williams is an amazing scorer. He can score when he wants to score, but in my opinion, he's been decreasing in his scoring ability because he went to the Nets and he's not as comfortable. Maybe next year, maybe the year after that, his scoring points will definitely raise, but right now I want to take him out of this category too. Now we got Derrick Rose, Derrick Rose, Chris Paul, and Russell Westbrook. Out of these 3, who's the best scorer? Right now I'm going to give this one to Derrick Rose because he's consistent. Now Chris Paul is an amazing player. He gets points when he wants to get points. He gets passes when he wants to get passes. He should have been the MVP against Kobe Bryant to a lot of people in 2007, but that's irrelevant. Derrick Rose proved it this year. That's why he got the MVP. That is why he's really consistent in his scoring. He got a buzzer beater this year. Now, Chris Paul single-handedly was the best point guard in the playoffs because against the Lakers, he basically did what no one else thought he would do. He came back alive. But in the season, right now, consistent. Who is your best scorer? Now, Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant can really score it up together. But I'm going to give this one to Derrick Rose because of his consistency, and he put up a lot of points this season. He broke 2 career highs in a season, over 40 points a game. So I'm going to give this point to Derrick Rose on scoring ability. Alright, so we talked about assists, we gave that point to Rondo. We talked about points, we gave that point to Rose. It's 1-1. Now we're going to be talking about steals. Who in the NBA can steal like no other? Who in the NBA, when need be, when it's crunch time, has to get that steal to win the game, has to get that steal to tie the game, has to get that steal to go to overtime. If you look at all these 5 players, there's only one that sticks out. I'm not even going to get to this topic. There's no one who can say who's better at steals, who's not. I mean, Derrick Rose, first of all, it's not Derrick Rose, but Derrick Rose definitely can get steals when he has to get them, and he's probably, out of all these players, and maybe Russell Westbrook, he can slam it down in the court on a fast break steal. But we're talking about steals alone. Who can get the best steals? As a point guard, steals is a big category, and we're going to give that to Chris Paul, because what I've seen, Chris Paul's been, leading in steals for quite a while. Maybe not this season, but overall as a point guard, and when you need to get a steal, who is the best person who can get steals in the NBA? It's definitely, definitely, definitely Chris Paul. Alright, so basically we talked about assists, we gave that to Rondo. Points, we gave that to Rose. And steals, we gave that to Paul. It's basically 1-1-1. So now we're going to be talking about the passing ability and court vision. Now all these players can pass. All these players have great court vision, which is why they are respectively one of the best 5 point guards in the NBA as of now. But right now I want to be giving this category to Chris Paul. Why? Because Chris Paul is a very unique point guard. He is basically like everything in one. He can rebound, he can score, he can shoot, he can steal, and he can pass, which is why I'm giving Chris Paul the category of court vision and passing ability, because if you guys go on YouTube and type in Chris Paul passing ability, you guys will be amazed, because you guys will see passes that you guys never even thought existed. So I'm going to be giving the passing ability topic, court vision topic in this video to Chris Paul. Alright, so now we're going to be talking about the most athletic player out of these categories. As you guys can see, Rondo got the assists, Derrick Rose got the points, Chris Paul got the steals, and Chris Paul also got the court vision. It's basically a 2-1-1. So who's the overall athletic player? So when it comes to my mind, only 2 stands out, and that's the 2 I'm going to be giving it to. Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook. When it comes to overall athleticism, 360s, dunks, all that good stuff, Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook always got the... Alright, so this is basically a really close matchup between Derrick Rose and Chris Paul. Chris Paul has taken, in my opinion, the steals, passing ability, court vision, so it's basically 2 points for him. Derrick Rose took the points and he took the athleticism. So now it's a 2-2. Who is going to win this topic in my opinion? Who is the overall better player? So this leads us to the last quality. Who do you need on your team? Who is the player that you cannot live without, that you cannot have a team without, the building block of a team? Which player will take that team to a championship and win that championship? So the 2 players, Derrick Rose and Chris Paul. So in my opinion, I'm going to give it to the one player who you cannot live without, who you need on your team, and that player is Derrick Rose. Because what Derrick Rose did this season in the NBA, with only age 22, what he did in the NBA in his 3rd season, it's incredible. MVP. This guy teared it apart. He brought him to the conference finals, and I give him so much respect. And in my opinion, Derrick Rose wins the topic in this opinion. Chris Paul, with no doubt, is an amazing player, and he teared it up against the Lakers. But right now, the best point guard in the NBA is Derrick Rose. So thanks guys for watching. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.